Hello, good morning everyone. Today I've got a first impressions, or rather a first wear. I think, as you can tell by the title, this will be called First Wear Diaries, because I don't just want to give you a first impression of the new perfume that I got my hands on, but I also want to discuss the Drydown and just overall what my first day wearing it experience is. Today I've got something quite new. It's about a month old. It is Orto Parisi Risvelium. Now, this is a blind buy. Okay. We don't recommend blind buying on this channel. It's a bad move. And that's basically rule number one of being in a fragrance hobby is try not to blind buy. And if there was a rule number two, it would be definitely don't blind buy Orto Parisi, because chances are it might go horribly wrong. Now, the reason I got my hands on this is because I can't sample it anywhere. It is quite new. I can't sample it anywhere. I would have to travel quite a few hours to get my hands on it. Sampling Orto Parisi or anything by Alessandro Gaultieri, really, in Nasomato as well, in store is not my favorite experience, because if you spray one on yourself, you're not going to smell anything else for the rest of the day. And basically, you might as well get in the car and go back home. And if you travel quite a bit to get there, it feels a bit ridiculous to travel just to smell one thing. If you smell it on strip, you might as well have never smelt it. The scent changes throughout the day quite a lot. What is most definitely not what you get. So you really need to sample this on skin. And usually I would recommend, and I have quite a few Gaultieri samples. They do end up being quite expensive because of especially the Nasomato 30ml bottles. For someone to decant you 1 ml of that, they will be charging you a pretty penny, like upwards of $10. Orto Parisi is not too bad. So the reason, why did I break the rules and get my hands on this? This is actually quite difficult to find on the bay of eBay in the UK. It's not as popular as you think. When it comes to discounters, they sell it for basically retail price. Retail price of Orto Parisi in the UK is about £150. If you buy it from Harrods, Selfridges, any of the big stock list of Orto Parisi. If you buy it from Alessandro directly from his website, he ships it out of Holland. If you pay in euro with a fee-free card, it becomes about £135. So it's a no-brainer. He sends you a lot of samples. You support the guy directly. Highly recommend doing that. He sends you about 4 samples as well. They're in the dreaded pods, but that's a story for another day. So why did I get my hands on this? I always keep an eye out, and someone put this on eBay. They clearly bought it straight from Alessandro, and they're not a huge fan, didn't really get on well with it. It was a blind buy for them, and they put it up, and I got this for 80 British pounds, and I felt like it's worth the risk. If it sucks, I will definitely be able to pass it on to someone else and not lose any money. So basically, I'm sampling it for free as a worst case scenario, or I love it and it's a total bargain. So the Alessandro Gaultieri, the Orto Parisi boxes are this kind of suede kind of effect on the cardboard with his logo on, and it comes in the origami style boxes, which we will open. And you have the bottle just there with the very fancy cap awaiting you. So I have not smelt this perfume before. It is literally about 4 weeks old as I get it, and we'll give it a go together and see how it goes. So my knowledge of the scent is I've just watched the Seldomly Often first impressions and unboxing. He just went through the initial opening. I know it's meant to be a kind of a grapefruit, a green grapefruit summery kind of thing. And he seemed to enjoy it, but then in the comments he did say, yeah, it's completely just became something else and quite a strong musky scent. So we'll see how it goes. Before we spray Risvelium on for you guys, just want to discuss my experiences with Orto Parisi. I have one more Orto Parisi 4 bottle, and it's Brutus, which I'll be discussing in a full review, and also discussing some of its inspirations, namely from Guerlain as well. I've sampled Bergamasque, I've sampled Megamare, I've sampled quite a few. I didn't feel like those two were worthy of a full bottle. The more woody, oody, darker juice ones like Terroni, I haven't committed to buying a bottle because I know there's a lot of overlap between Terronis, Turcus, Boccanera, and then the stuff on his other line. He does use quite a lot of the same materials, as you tend to. And I want to sample all of them before I really decide whether I want one, which one I prefer, and which one to go for. Let's give this a go and see how it goes. It's meant to be, Risvelium is meant to be about awakening, hence the eye. It's meant to be inspired by his trip to South America, where he took ayahuasca and had some form of awakening, and then he made this perfume. Now, this is probably going to be a straight bomb. Let's give it a go. I'm going to go for 3 sprays because we might as well do it justice. I'm going to be spraying 1 on the neck, 1 on my shirt, actually, to see how it does on clothes versus on skin, and 1 on my arm. I do have to say, I do really want to like this. I've had quite bad experiences in the past when I've used the official samples. A lot of people say that this smells like bergamask with ride, with corium. We'll see about that. I'm hoping it doesn't because I used one of those official pods for bergamask, and it was my first pod sample. Let's just say I made a big mistake. I just squeezed it. It went everywhere, including my face, my desk. My entire house kind of smelled of that Javanol synthetic sandalwood record that he totally overdosed to a crazy extent in bergamask for literally weeks. Sometimes I'm just minding my own business. It's been months since that happened. And sometimes I'm in the office and I get a whiff of it. I don't know where it's coming from. I might need to move house. So I'm hoping that he has not done too much Javanol in this one because I really want to enjoy it without destroying my atmosphere of my house. Let's give it a spray. So I'm going to smell it first from the atomizer because this is not a brand new bottle. It's missing a few mils from the person that sold it to me. You can clearly smell it from the atomizer. So I can definitely smell that Javanol from bergamask. It's not really a smell, it's more of a nostril sensation. I can feel it. I've got a very specific memory of it, and it's bringing back that memory. Let's spray on. Hopefully my wife doesn't kick me out of the house. Speaking of getting kicked out of the house, I will be spending majority of my first wear outdoors with this one. It's about the outdoors, isn't it? It's grapefruit greenery, supposedly. So I want to give it the best shot. Also, feel like it's a safe space. Javanol will not do too much damage outside. I also have quite a few things I need to do, garden work, etc. Speaking of garden work, obviously that is what has inspired the brand Orto Parisi. I'm not going to be dealing with any animals or anything like that. I'm not Mr. Parisi all of a sudden, but let's give it a go and see how it goes. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to discuss the opening with you guys. I'm going to go get on with my day. I'm going to come back at the end of the wear and discuss my experiences, how it performed, my thoughts after one full wear, discuss the dry down and tell you my thoughts. And then maybe after 7 to 10 wears is when I would properly review this perfume for you guys. So let's give it a go. Let's see. There's 3 sprays. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. That is quite a beautiful opening, I have to say. So off the bat, I'm getting this grapefruit. It's not really a juicy grapefruit or a fleshy grapefruit. It's not even the grapefruit fruit itself per se. It is a bit of the fruit itself. A fleshy grapefruit is something like in Overture Man. It's not a sweet grapefruit like in Galan Pamplalun or anything like that. It's a very oily and green kind of grapefruit. Mandarin oranges, if you buy really good ones, they have the stalk and they have a green leaf. I'm getting a leaf kind of component. I'm getting peeled the grapefruit and you squeeze the skin and then the grapefruit oil kind of just attacks your senses. There is definitely something sweet and fruity about it. It's not just totally bitter. And there is something quite muddy and soily about it. It's not really patchouli in the kind of traditional Gaultieri patchouli that he uses in Veride, Pardon, those kind of, or any of his other scents that he really loves to use patchouli. It could be, it's not really vetiver either. It's giving me like a Terre de Hermes vibe. You know how that muddy orange? But this is like a muddy green grapefruit. Like basically, there is some mud component, there is some kind of soil component, but there's a strong green component. There's some crushed leaves in there as well. I can't stop smelling it. I'll be honest, I might have to edit this bit out because I just keep trying to smell it. So at the moment, it's a beautiful summer scent. I'm not getting any of that. I'm not getting any of that crazy Javanol. That really it doesn't reek like Bergamasque reeks. Bergamasque literally is just a nuclear bomb to my nose. I'm probably more sensitive than the average person to this synthetic molecule that he obviously overdosed a lot in Bergamasque. It's definitely there. It's probably going to aid the performance, the synthetic sandalwood, but it's not as overdosed, and I'm glad because this is so far it's a more wearable Bergamasque. That's what maybe is what I was looking for all along. So the grapefruit is still there. The green kind of components are coming out a bit more. I've described four kind of things. There's this oily grapefruit. There's the grapefruit kind of green leaves. There's a bit of a soily thing. And then there's the grapefruit flesh giving you that sweetness. I have to be honest, I've never eaten a grapefruit. Maybe I should go and buy grapefruit for this review. It's really good. I kind of want to spray more, but I know I shouldn't because of probably what's to come. Okay, let's just stick with the 3 sprays. Let's check it on close. It's not as good on close for some reason. It's a bit stuffier on clothes, almost. It doesn't have that fizz to it, that refreshing kind of grapefruit to it. I'll stop recording now. I'm going to get on with my day. Like I said, I'll be spending it quite a lot outside. I'll be doing quite a lot of physical work in my garden, and we'll see how it does in nature. I'll be back in a few hours and I'll let you know what happens and how things go. Yeah, so far definitely enjoying this one. See you after the break in a few hours and I'll let you know how it went. I'm back, and I'm back after 5.5 hours of Risvelium, and it's been quite an experience, I have to say. So like I was explaining, there was this grapefruit, very rindy, bitter, oily in a way, with this kind of dried green leaves in the mud kind of vibe, the slight sweetness and fruitiness. That lasted for quite some time, and I'd say at least the first couple of hours. Now into hours 5, between hours 5 and 6 is where I am now, and I'm going to end away now because I have things to do. I'm going to shower and move on with the day. Later on into the Drydown, the grapefruit kind of moved away. The sweetness completely went away, and you had this kind of what I can really describe as a weed scent, like a cannabis kind of scent. There's a real weediness to it, a real dankiness to it, with the green leaves and the soil. There is a bit of a metallic-y kind of thing, similar to the one in Megamari in a way, but that metallic kind of vibe with the leaves. It reminds me a little bit of like Platinum Egoist in terms of that metallic with the green component, which is quite similar in that one, which I'm not actually a huge fan of, but it is quite interesting. There is a bit of there's still a slight hint, like a memory of the grapefruit still there. I don't know whether because the opening was strong that maybe my brain is still conceiving a little bit of it there. But it smells like a bit of a metallic, more muddy, more camphorous green scent, and a bit danky, like a cannabis kind of scent. Personally, I enjoyed it for the past 5 or 6 hours I've had this on. I would say, with regards to the clothes test, the opening stayed on for about an hour and a half longer in the clothes test. Matter of fact, it's still like more grapefruity versus on skin. I did spend the majority of the time outside, like I was saying, doing some kind of garden work, which was quite physical. And it's cheating because this is very green, very refreshing, very dry, very muddy. It was like almost the perfect scent to do the job that I was going to do today. I think I spent a bit of time in the car. I have to say 3 sprays was a bit too much. It was quite strong. My wife had a bit of a smell. She absolutely despises it. She hates it so much that she can't even bring herself to say any descriptive words. She just says it's really strong. It basically stinks. That's how much of a strong emotional reaction she has, similar to what she had with Bergamasque, and it's probably because of that similar Javanol in the back. But overall, this is a good scent. I would definitely want to wear it another few times to really form my opinions, try it out in different environments, because like I said, wearing one of these outside is pretty much cheating because it was built for that. I did watch the advertisement campaign just before coming on for this second part of the video with the awakening, and it actually makes perfect sense. Like the oyster seashelly kind of thing gives me that metallic kind of vibe. Obviously, there's the brownness aspect giving the mud component. I would say if this was an awakening, it's an awakening in the scent profile is in reverse, if you like, of the awakening. So the grapefruit blast and the beauty of that is like the awakening. And then it transitions the bits before the awakening, which would be pretty ugly. You'd imagine someone that have to go through such an awakening usually comes after a really traumatic experience or something like that. So I think the awakening happens at the opening, and then you go into quite a dark direction. It's quite a dark scent, but still, I would say this is a good summer spring scent. You can definitely wear this all year round. The opening is absolutely magical. The reason I'm saying this is like an awakening in reverse is, let me try and explain. So in the deep dry down, which I think I've reached, there's a kind of a smoky, ashy, metallic kind of thing going on. And I need a bit more time to really think about it and a few more wears to get my thoughts in order. But it's like the life of this kind of grapefruit plant as a whole, kind of from its prime at the top notes all the way to its demise. Okay, the fruit is gone now. It's very green, very leafy only, not fruity, and then it becomes, oh, it's a bit danky, a bit like the leaves are not doing well, they're shriveling up a bit, it's a bit camphorous, a bit dry, and then it becomes like just burnt with the mud and green kind of vibe going throughout. But it is beautiful, and I need a bit more time with it to really get my thoughts about the awakening idea. It is definitely a nuclear scent, completely beast mode. It's totally ridiculous. 3 sprays was too much, and that was me spending time outside. I think if I was wearing this inside, or if I was inside all day, I would probably have a really negative first impressions of this scent. But overall, I've enjoyed my first wear. It's more interesting than Bergamasque, for sure, because that kind of is a bit linear and a bit one-dimensional. It gives you the citrus, and then it gives you that musky nuke that makes it absolutely incredible in terms of projection and performance. And I'd imagine, like Bergamasque for me, the reason why I did not get a bottle is its use case is very limited, because I would basically have to be outside all day and basically be like in nature, on the beach, in the beaming hot sun, so that it kind of tames it, because even 1 spray inside was way too much. This one is not as strong in a way. I'd say it's as strong as Bergamasque in terms of performance, but the difference is it seems less strong because there's more going on in the transitions. They make it interesting and you don't get sick of it. Like I said, I am quite sensitive to the Javanol that he uses in both of these, and that does mean that they do perform a lot stronger for me and more perceptible to my nose. Like it's impossible to go nose blind to this. It was radiating off my skin. You could basically smell it constantly. It's not like catching whiffs. Like you watched me spray those 3 sprays, and it was there the whole time. Could not smell anything else other than that. But yeah, my wife's not a huge fan, which may affect how long this ends up staying in my wardrobe. But definitely will be more interested to wear it a few more times in more settings, play around with the sprays, play around with more indoor settings, see how things go. Maybe even wear it to work, just do 1 spray under my shirt or something like that to see how it does. I appreciate 6 hours is actually not a long time for a Gaultieri fragrance because, for all I know, this could change 2 hours from now. But I will not be allowing it to have the opportunity because I'm going to shower it off and carry on. But I'll definitely be trying to wear it for longer periods of time. And this is the paradox of the beast mode scent, is that sometimes it's too much of a good thing. I personally like to wear 2 fragrances a day because I have so many samples, so many decants I need to go through. So just to summarize my experience with this, opened up with this addictive, oily grapefruit skin, grapefruit oil with a hint of sweetness. I could feel the kind of grapefruit leaves. I don't know if they have leaves, but these kind of dry camphorous leaves. If leaves are like of rosemary, when you crush them, they release their oils and their aroma with a bit of a muddy thing going on. That stayed for a few hours. Then in came a metallic kind of thing. The mud and green took over. The grapefruit went to the back, and there was this musky metallic scent, very camphorous, very dry, very muddy. Let me know what you guys thought of Parisi Risvelium. Have you had a chance to try this? What do you think about the brand Orto Parisi? What do you think about the fact that there is no notes? Do you think it's all a gimmick? What do you have? What do you enjoy? And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I appreciate there's not a lot of stuff out there. So if anyone has any questions about my experience, please put it in the comments and I'll be more than happy to answer. So thank you very much.